doing it for the news, advertising, or commercial purposes. That's what it says to open the whole memo. And so if it didn't say that, man, I'd be like, you know what? I'm a jackass, man. You guys got me.
The CFR does say for non-commercial purposes, so
it says it in there somewhere.
It either talks
Well, it
about
says right there.
commercial purposes,
Right.
or
Yeah. No,
non-commercial
I've seen it.
purposes. So if you're doing it commercially, there's a subsection for that.
Okay.
If you're doing it non-commercially, there's a subsection for
So
that.
why would this tell me in the very first sentence that filming for those purposes is governed under this code, but not tell me that filming for non-news or advertising purposes is also?
I don't write the
Why would
CFR,
they
sir.
point that? I know.
I
Well,
don't
that's
write
just
the
a summary.
CFRs. That's how the CFR is written. I don't write the CFRs. You can ask your congressperson why it's written that way.
I don't think Congress people write CFRs either, but
That's just a summary of it. This is the actual. This is the code, okay? But this is just what you're talking about.
Yeah,
is just a summary.
that's laying it all out, putting it all out there for us. Okay, got it. So what is it? Is this the redacted version?
right.
Oh, nice. I have. So you have a different one than I do. So are you reading
It's the
different
same
information than
one.
me?
There's some information that's redacted, but what we've been going over
It's
is
all
the same.
there. Okay.
And the non-commercial is page 2. Page 2.
Yeah, I have that. I saw that non-commercial, but I'm looking for the full code like you were saying. Oh, here it is. Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the policy provides, and then it's in quotes, policy concerning photographs for news, advertising, or commercial purposes, period. It states, okay, so everything below that point is in reference to the very first section, which is telling us that that code applies to photographs for news, advertising, or commercial purposes. It states that. Boom.
Did you look up the CFR?
I just
read
told
the
you.
actual CFR?
I just did. Is this not the actual CFR?
Did you look it up and read the actual CFR?
Yeah, I found this same memo. So if this is not this, if it's not the same as the actual CFR, then why are we reading this?
Hey, Jess.
All right, so now we got the supervisor out here. We'll see how this goes. This guy doesn't look like he's going to be very fair. He's got a sour look on his face.
What?
Oh, they get out with the.
It's like he didn't just finish his lunch. Or
Did he? Maybe he did. Hey, I might have. Hey, you know what? I might have
You're
it wrong.
human just like you are.
I get that, man. I told.
When you start
okay, let me
judging
rephrase.
people like that
from
from
my
the get-
experience, you
Yeah.
know, and I could be wrong, but I'm gonna treat them with respect and fair, just like I've been treating you guys. I'm gonna give him the chance. You know what I mean? I'm just saying he didn't seem to be too open, have an open-minded look. But I read it wrong, so it's all right.
Hi.
How you doing, Sarge?
Good, how about yourself?
I'm doing all right. I've been here for a long fucking time today. There's something that probably should have taken an hour, but that's okay. So I'm filming this, but this is just for my protection.
Okay, me too.
Okay, yeah, I know you guys are. It's the way of the world these days. So,
Yeah.
but basically, the issue arose. I went in there this morning, and I'll save you from too much backstory. I'll just give you the relevant facts. I went in there, sat down. I'm here to conduct business, get a social security card or replacement for a job.
Okay.
And I went in there, got my ticket, sat down. I noticed they started going through their security protocol with a lady, wanding her, taking her shoes off, going through her purse, patting her down, all that stuff. And I was a little shocked by it because I didn't know they did that here. The last time I was here was probably 15 years ago,
Okay.
and they didn't do that then. I was like, wow. So I pulled my phone out,
Okay.
and I filmed it.
Okay.
Well, when the security officer noticed that I was filming, he got upset, told me that I wasn't allowed to do that in there, right?
Okay.
And I know otherwise because I know the law, and so he asked me to leave, right? And they told me that if I continued to film, that they would take my phone, they would seize my personal property, delete the video, and then have me arrested for trespassing. So I said, you know what, man? I don't want that to happen, right? You guys are threatening me, right? I know that I'm in the right here. I should probably sit here and keep filming. I'm not going to because I don't want to go to jail, right? But I'll come out here and let's get the FPS, which is the federal police, which is who governs these guys or who takes care of their stuff. Let's get them out here. Maybe they can resolve this. So yeah, I'll get right on it. So I come out, I wait 30, 45 minutes. No one's here. I go back in there. There's people in there that are coming out telling me that guy's in there laughing, talking about shit. I ain't calling nobody. Let that motherfucker stand around out there, right? Okay, so I call you guys myself, right? Because they're denying me access into there under the condition that if I want to go in, I can't have my phone out, I can't film, right? And so they've produced this this federal regulation, right? Which is a valid federal regulation which governs photography inside federal buildings and public spaces, right? But this regulation, if you read the very first sentence, it applies to photographs for news, advertising, or commercial purposes. And I'm neither of those. I'm a private citizen filming for my own personal reasons. It's not news, it's not advertising, I'm not selling anything, making any money on it. So this code that they're standing on to kick me out and threaten to have me arrested for trespassing doesn't even apply to me. I'm a private citizen. This is a publicly accessible space. The First Amendment guarantees me my right to that. I can film in there. If I can see it in public, I can film it. It's the lobby. I'm not filming in the offices. I'm not capturing people's personal information. I'm barely even filming the public. I was filming the security officer in the course of his duties, watching how our government has allowed its people to be treated going into its buildings. And I'm not like some crazy anti-government protester that's gonna rail about it on the internet, right? At the end of the day, man, I'm probably gonna go home and probably forget about it, you know what I mean? But now it's different because now I've been kicked out of there and told that I can't film in public. And I know that's not the law. I know that's their rule, right? But rule is not law, and rule does not trump laws. It's a personal request at that point.
Okay, but they've been in charge of this building, right?
Mm-hmm.
They reserve the right to kick people out.
Well, yes, in a private building, that's true. In a public building, for a public agency to kick the public out of its building, there has to be a legitimate reason. And filming, not violating the law, is not a legitimate reason to remove somebody from a public space.
Okay, you were asking me to give you a to basically supersede what their rules are for their job. I don't know their job. I don't know what they do. Honestly, between me and you and all these people out here, I really don't care what they do as long as they don't break the law.
Right.
Okay.
But that is breaking the law.
I don't think they've broken the law. By asking you to leave, because I think they reserve that right because they work for this business who created that rule versus rule over law. I think if you want to beef that, you can. But
sure.
That's a civil issue between you and this agency, not.
It is, and you're right, and I agree with you on that. The difference is that this is not a business. This is a public agency in a public building. It's a government building that's taxpayer funded. I pay for this building and I pay these people's paychecks, right? So it is illegal for government officials to tell me that I cannot access government services unless I give up my First Amendment rights. That's illegal.
They have a rule.
I know that they have a rule, but
that you can't videotape. And how do we know? How do I even know that you're not going to sell that or that it's not going to be news?
Well,
or,
that's
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
true. But you're a sergeant.
work.
You know that what you don't know isn't grounds to deny somebody to continue a lawful activity. What you don't know that I might be doing or might not be doing is sort of irrelevant.
I think what you have here is a beef with the Social Security office, okay?
Definitely that.
But,
there's no question.
I don't know that there's anything we can do for you.
Yeah.
Okay? I think they do reserve the right to.
But you can
kick
do
you
something
out.
for them, though, in the sense that you guys can come back and use violence against me to get me in the back of your car for not leaving their building. But you can do that for them, but you can't interpret the law in my favor or interpret the law the other way around that says, hey, you guys are breaking the law. This man has a right to public services. Why does it only go one way? Why can you only interpret the law to harm me and not help me?
I am not trying to interpret the law to harm you.
But that's what you're a law enforcement officer attempting to enforce the law right now. Okay. So you would need to interpret the law.
Their rule says that they don't allow you to photograph or
so do you go by their rules or the laws of the state of California?
I go
by what is okay? So that's my point.
Enforcement of that federal. We're not talking about enforcement of that. We're talking about a simple trespassing.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about. They want you arrested for trespassing because they've kicked you out and they've told you to leave.
Okay.
And you refuse to
I
leave,
see what you're saying.
Then we will come back and arrest you for trespassing.
Just on the grounds that I'm in a place where they don't want me to be. Exactly. So it doesn't matter that it's a public building or that they don't have a right to kick me out. You guys would still make the arrest and then I would have to hash it out in the courts.
Pretty much.
Basically, right? Okay. So is that a cite and release or is that an arrest?
It depends. So you can be cited and released. Mm-hmm. However, say we do come back and we've already been out here and they've told you to leave.
Yeah.
And we come back, it shows a likelihood to continue.
Yeah.
Which is
grounds to hold somebody. No, I get it. I get the logic.
People for that.
Sure.
Because if it's going to continue.
What is it? A couple of days or something usually till you go to court and then they let you out.
Probably a couple of hours.
Yeah. Nowadays.
But I don't know that it's worth it.
I mean, what are your rights worth to you?
I don't understand. So Do you want to go back in there and receive your services?
You know what I want? Yes, but I don't want to give up my rights to do it. I also don't want to go to jail, though. So now I have to choose between the services that I've paid taxes for my entire life or giving up my rights because this guy, for whatever reason, doesn't want photography in there.
It's not him. It's the building.
So where are they at right now? Why is law enforcement on their front step, and they're the ones that make the rules, and they're not even willing to come out here and be involved in this?
Us, right?
Absolutely, right? But aren't they the one? If they're the ones that make the rules and the decision, I mean, shouldn't they be a part of this too? Because this guy can't make the rules.
I'm sure they have a complaint process that you can go through to make a complaint on him,
Yeah.
on the administration, on their rules. But that's not something we do. We're here to enforce the laws of the state of California.
Yeah.
And you called us, so
Okay.
you requested our service.
Yep.
They're saying they don't want you here. I think they reserve that right to not have you in this building.
Do they though? In a public building? Do they have that
I think
right?
so.
Okay. Well, I'll have to check into that because to be totally honest, I wasn't expecting this today, so I'm not brushed up on my trespassing laws.
Okay.
I wish I was because then I would know exactly what I can and can't do. But in this situation, I just don't have the knowledge. And I'll tell you what's kind of sad though, honestly, and I don't mean any disrespect by this, but you guys are the ones that are supposed to know this stuff, right? And my word doesn't carry any weight. Because at the end of the day, I know what everybody here wants. This guy wants to go back into the air conditioning. You guys want to get back into your cars, go do what you do. And so do you, right? And ultimately, so do I. But this is a serious problem here, you know?
Okay. I think you're making it serious, and I understand that
Yeah.
it's serious to you. I think the services that you came here for
Yeah.
doesn't require you to videotape what's going on. I think
No,
you could
it doesn't. You're right.
I think you could go in there, receive the services that you need,
Yeah.
and leave and be done with everybody here. You know what I mean? And not have to deal with anybody here.
Definitely could.
They've provided you with their rules. So they're going to stand by those rules, and I'm in no position to tell them that your rules are wrong. These
Okay.
are your rules. If their rules are wrong,
Right.
and it violates federal law that you come up with,
Yeah.
then I think you have a legitimate beef against them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
That is not going to be enforced by us. That is a civil between you and this agency.
Yeah, but then it becomes a criminal matter if I'm in there and I start filming or I don't want to leave because I want to get my services. That's when you guys get involved.
If you're in there and filming, they'll tell you to leave.
Yeah.
And if you don't leave, then you are refusing to basically leave their place. So then you're arrestable for trespassing.
Right. Okay. So it doesn't matter the reason that they ask you to leave anywhere for any purpose.
It's their prerogative to
refuse service to anybody.
refuse service.
And you're sure that applies to government agencies and public services?
Honestly, I don't know. It's
Okay,
a
but
business
if
thing.
you were going to arrest me for trespassing, you would want to be sure about that first, right?
I would go in there and I would ask them, "Do you want this person here?" And if they said they don't want this person here,
Okay.
then I would come out, tell you, "Hey, you got to go. They don't want you here.
Yeah.
Maybe you can return a different time." And if you didn't leave, then I would take you to jail.
Okay. All right. So all right, fair enough. So then, but you wouldn't do any research first to see if it's legal to arrest somebody for trespassing, being kicked out of like a public building or a public space for
Would I do
that's not
research?
being disorderly? I mean, before you made the arrest,
the
you'd want to
problem
make
is-
sure that that's like a legal arrest,
The
right?
problem is by not following their rules,
Yeah.
and they're telling you to leave, and you not leaving, that is being disorderly. For
Okay.
this place of business, whether it's a public agency or not, they conduct business.
If I'm
here.
sitting in my chair peaceably, quietly, waiting for my number to be called, that's being disorderly? If I'm not disturbing anybody, there's no loud noises being made, because this says pretty clearly you can't be in there making loud noises and all kinds of stuff while you're filming for commercial purposes, because that's all this applies to. So that's disorderly, though?
Maybe they have different. Maybe they have another set of rules.
They
Section
don't.
says for non-commercial purposes.
The A section is defining non-commercial purposes, but this whole thing, so this guy doesn't, he's not willing to understand that this does not apply
I
to people for
understand
non-commercial
why
purposes.
this is making you upset. Okay, but in the end, they can refuse service to you. Okay, you came here for a service. Okay,
Yeah.
service that I believe you deserve it. Everybody in America deserves this service.
Well, I mean, you have to
Right?
have a social security card in this country
Right.
if you want to work, so it's not even a fact of whether I
So-
deserve it. It's just necessary.
Tell me this: is it completely outside of the possibility for you to just go in here, not record anybody, get what you need, and leave, and then they're all done. And then what you do is tomorrow or whenever you feel, you go and file a complaint against this place, this officer, and go about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Because we could stand out here all day, go back and forth, have this conversation, right?
Yeah.
But I can't impose rules on their place. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you can, because you're a law enforcement officer, so you
cannot.
can enforce the law, but not on them, is what you're saying.
No,
you can't make them do it, but you can make me do something, but not them.
well, because they're in control of this building.
I
okay?
got you. So what about my house? When I'm in control of my house, you can still come to my house and make me do something, right?
No, it depends. It depends on the situation.
I mean,
Depends on the situation
Sure.
at your house.
Yeah.
Like if, there's several different scenarios
right.
that we can make people do stuff at their house. There's
Uh-huh.
several scenarios where we can think something's going on, but we can't go into that house,
I
right?
got you.
Without probable cause or reasonable suspicion. So there's hoops that we have to jump through to
Yeah.
do certain things.
Okay. All right. Well, then, all right. So I'm going to end this then, because it's not going to go anywhere. And I know that if I go in there and film, which is my legal right to do, and you'll find out, you will be educated soon, don't worry. And then I'm going to be arrested for doing illegal activity. I don't feel like going to jail today, right? Not something I want to do. I don't feel like having anybody put their hands on me, especially these guys, because they're not even cops. And if they put their hands on me, it's probably going to be a fight, because I'm not going to let another man put his hands on me. So, and if you
Understandable.
try to put your hands on me, I'd comply, because you're a police officer. I'll give you that respect, right? So, but this guy is not. So, and he doesn't care about the law, doesn't want to learn the law, is looking for a way to be right. That's all he's looking for. So, and that's okay. So I'm going to end this. I am going to file a complaint. I just want to make it clear, very clear, that the reason that I'm not going to get the services that are due to me are under threat of 1, violence, and 2, arrest. That's why I'm not going in there, because I'm being told that if I go in there and exercise my First Amendment right and film, I'm going to be either asked to leave. If I choose not to give up my rights, they're going to forcibly detain me, which, as you know, means use violence. You can sugarcoat it any way you want. Call it an arrest, call it a detention, call it reasonable force. It's violence. And then I'm going to go to jail. So that's why I'm leaving today.
We want this to end peaceful, okay?
Yeah,
We
no,
would
I know.
love for you to get your services.
Yeah,
But if they're not going to allow you to get your services,
yeah,
it's not us not allowing you to get your services.
Right.
If we're not going to allow, if they're not going to allow you to get your services because you're filming,
yeah.
that's not the police department that's denying you that right.
Right.
They do have the right to ask you to leave.
Right. No, I understand. I
Then
understand.
that's where we step in.
Yeah.
When
So
they ask you to
that's
leave.
like the main issue here then, and that's what I'm gonna have to look into then too, because like I know that you guys have your trespassing laws, and if you're in a place where the people that control it don't want you to be, and they ask you to leave, that you're trespassing. I don't think it's quite so cut and dry with a public building, and I definitely know it's not so cut and dry when the reason they're asking you to leave is for doing a constitutionally protected activity. So. That's going to be a problem, and I'm telling you right now, I'm not one of these guys that says he's going to do something and goes away and disappears. This is going to be an ongoing thing. You guys are going to hear from me a lot. There's going to be other people down here, and they're going to be doing First Amendment audits, so you guys expect to get called, because there's probably going to be quite a few people down here showing up filming, because you guys, what you're doing is illegal. It's tyrannous. So
It's not me, it's Social Security Administration.
right, but you're wearing that badge and you're enforcing their rules
I'm
on
just
purpose.
asking
You're
you to
carrying a
leave.
gun
I'm
to
asking you
enforce
to
the
leave.
rules, and you
If
don't
you're
care whether
choosing
they're
to
legal or
follow
not.
policy.
So it is you. You can't hide behind that badge, dude.
Okay,
You're
sir.
supposed to wear that with pride, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So, all right.
Is there
Well,
anything else that I can help you with?
that's it, man. But I want to tell you guys, and I'm sorry. I know you're irritated with me. I seem like a fucking asshole. I get it, right?
I honestly don't care what you seem like. I just don't like being repetitive and
I
chasing the
I
tail.
get it.
I told you
I
that.
get it. So I apologize if you feel I've wasted your time. Thank you for coming out, right? And thank you for being professional and answering my questions. I always appreciate it. These are the type of interactions, that I think that people should see with the police. It's important, man. We count on you guys. You know what I mean? So everything's on the up and up. And I get your position, because I know state law says you can arrest me for trespassing if I don't leave, right? So that legally, you're right, and I'm willing to admit it. There's nothing I can do about that. So I'm not going to push that issue. I'm going to leave. I'll take it up with them. and take it up with Social Security and see what happens.
Is this yours?
No, it's theirs, man. I have a PDF of that, and it's completely irrelevant to me anyways, but this is the only thing that they could find to print to stand on, so that's what they did.
Well, I mean, we come out here to solve problems,
Yeah.
okay? Or give a temporary solution for
Right,
problems,
right.
okay? I think if you want the long-term solution, if you want those
Yeah, I want the
rules
long-term
changed,
solution, yeah.
those rules changed,
Yep.
I think you go through the Social Security
Yeah.
Administration
Yep.
complaint process
Sure.
to get those changed.
Okay.
Because they're going to evaluate all of that
Right.
once you bring the complaint up.
Yeah, they
They're
will.
gonna
I
look
tried to
at-
call them even today, man, but I called and they said it was an hour and 15-minute minimum wait time on the phone, and I didn't have that kind of time. So I already talked to the FPS today on the phone, but so I'll deal with it. I'll go about it the right way and see what happens, man. But you know what I mean? Everybody likes to make their own rules, and I know the intentions are good, right? I get that, but that's not how our system works. You don't get to make rules with good intentions and then enforce them like law. They have to be law if you're going to enforce them, especially with a threat of violence behind it. To me, I mean, it damn well better. You better know the law you're enforcing, you know? And then when you come out here, print me a piece of paper, bring it out here that doesn't even apply to me, that's a little bit scary. You got a gun, dude. You're going to enforce the law with your gun, and you don't even know the law you're enforcing. That's scary, man. But you're doing the right thing. You know the law. The only thing relevant to you here is, hey, if they want you out of here, you got to go, dude. If you don't, I can arrest you for trespassing. You're doing the right thing. So are you. Thank you. You know. So, anyways,
Well,
I'll
if
end
we
it
can
at
do
that.
anything for you in the future,
Yeah.
don't hesitate to call us.
Okay.
'Cause we're here for you.
I appreciate you guys showing up. I wasn't even sure if anyone was going to show up, honestly. So thanks, Sarge. I appreciate it.
All right.
Take care of yourself.
You enjoy the
ma'am.
rest of your day,
Sorry.
okay?
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. Tell your partner I said thanks too.
All right.
All right. You guys
Have a
take it
good
easy.
day, okay?
Yep. And we'll be in touch.